going to be talking about how you can go to Ohio Wesleyan University tuition free with the Delaware County Promise program.
Which is absolutely amazing. Like, this is such a big deal for our county.
Yes. Yeah, and so it's really exciting. So unfortunately, we had to cancel that program because we were closed for the snow that day. And so we're giving another chance, a take two. For people to learn about this program.
And we're getting a chance to really tell you about it because everybody needs to know how cool this is. I heard Adam speak at my Kiwanis group a couple months ago, and this is absolutely just amazing. So I'm really excited to share this bigger.
Yep, you'll want to stay tuned, hang with us, and the second half of the show, that'll be what we'll talk about. And there's lots of other exciting initiatives happening at Ohio Wesleyan, so there might be even more things that you learn about when you tune in. But for until then, we're going to talk a little bit about maybe some books.
Maybe some books.
Maybe some
on
TV
the library
shows,
show. What do you think? I mean, maybe we could do that.
Yeah. Have you read anything good lately?
I have, and it's nice and short. Everybody who's in a place like me,
I'm
got
not in
like
a good reading space right now.
I am, but I've got 6 books that I keep starting like 2 or 3 days before they're returned, so I have to wait till I get them back.
Right? Yes.
But I did manage to finish this one, and I am very excited to share this.
Okay.
This book's actually a translation from the Japanese language it was written in. It's called If Cats Disappeared from the World, My Ultimate Nightmare.
That sounds like the saddest book ever.
It sounds like, but it's not. I'm going to suggest this for lots of people. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's by, I am so going to say these names wrong. I should have looked this up. Genki Kawamura, and Eric Sealand is the one who translated it.
Okay.
So the story starts with our main character, and he's just come back from the doctors, and he's found out you're going to die.
Oh, no.
And you're going to die very soon.
Oh.
And as he's trying to process this information and figure out what do you do when you're given almost days, he has a visitor show up, and it is the devil.
Oh, no.
And the devil, we all know, loves to make a good deal, right?
A good deal, right, exactly.
And the devil comes to him and says, we have a deal that God's agreed that I can do. The world has too many things in it. And we think we need to get rid of all these things. And I mean, I can't disagree. I got too many things in my life too, right?
Can they be inanimate? Yeah.
We're going to find out.
Okay.
So devil gives this deal, and he says, with these things, you can pick one thing that's going to disappear from the world forever, and it'll buy you one day.
Oh, gosh.
And you can do this as long as you want to. I've offered this to thousands of people, but I've only had 100 some actually do it.
I wonder what's disappeared along the way.
I know.
That we didn't know about.
Well, it starts and it comes, the devil shows up the next day and he's like, yes, I'm in. Let's get rid of one thing. And he's like, I can decide what that is. And he's like, let's get rid of dust. And the devil's like, that's not how this is done.
No, because that seems helpful.
That seems helpful.
Mosquitoes even.
Mosquitoes. Yeah. We can all name things with love out of the world that maybe, and he really tried to think what wouldn't make a global impact.
Sure.
But no, the devil goes, I get to pick.
Oh, and he already said he agreed to the deal?
He already agreed to the deal.
Dag nabbit.
And the devil comes up with, they start talking, and he's like, how about chocolate?
No.
And there's a lot of discussion about this, and he finally goes, have you tried chocolate?
Oh,
Well, the devil had it, and the devil eats chocolate, and we're keeping chocolate, my friends.
Goodness. My gosh, yes.
Conversation goes on. What if we got rid of movies?
No.
But here's the deal.
No.
Yeah, right.
You get to enjoy one last before I take this from the world. And after thinking, for my life, movies are my life. Okay, we'll do movies. Well, he runs into an old college romance, and she works at a movie theater. So she offers for him to have one last movie. He goes through the process trying to get it. Movie doesn't even run, but movies disappear and nobody else seems to notice. Next day he comes in and he goes, cell phones.
Okay.
This process goes on.
Yeah.
The whole time he keeps telling the story of losing his mother, how close, being separated from his father,
right?
His old love. You're going through his whole life. And there's a cat, his mother's cat. And you're learning all about cabbage. They had lettuce, and then they got cabbage.
Those are the names of the cats.
Those are the names of the cats.
Lettuce and cabbage.
And the devil decides, after falling in love with cabbage himself, decides that we're going to take cats from the world.
Aww.
But what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you a day where cabbage and you can talk to each other.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, he just falls more in love with cabbage. He already was struggling. Do I take cats from the world or do I just die?
Uh-huh. Right.
And he goes and goes. I'm not going to tell
does it
you.
Become selfish, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, cell phones. I mean, nobody knows how to function in this world without cell phones now, but we had old things.
Yeah.
Clocks were a conversation.
Well,
we got to look at clocks. His dad had a clock store.
What was that movie where the Beatles just disappeared? Do you remember that?
Was that?
People who are listening will know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a movie.
Sorry, listeners, we can't remember.
where just one day the world wakes up and the Beatles aren't there anymore. But like one guy remembers them, and he's like playing, something. He plays like "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" or something like that, and everybody's like, "Wow, that is the most amazing song I've ever heard. How did you write that?" And he was like, "I didn't write that.
I didn't do that."
And they're like, "No, that is a new, unique song. You need to." And so it kind of gives me those types of vibes.
It does, and it's only a 5-hour listen.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of going to stop here because you got to figure out his decision is not easy.
Right.
This is a story of the journey, so I've given you some clues what's going to come up, but it's the journey that gets you there. So it's about these relationships and these different pieces.
I really like, because I read Before the Coffee Gets Cold, which is also a Japanese translation, and it also dabbles with the what if question.
Yeah.
What if I could go, and that one is more time travel. What if I could go back a week and change this one thing? What if I could go back in this time and see this one person?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of an interesting thing how they both are Japanese translated, and they both kind of dabble in this like what if, especially when facing death or when facing like life altering moments.
I think constantly, what if cell phones had never come in our lives?
Right.
What, we were functioning. I remember life before. I'm old enough to remember life before even turtle texting,
Yeah.
It was kind of nice at times.
Right.
And now I remember I sit in doctor's offices and think, what did I do in doctor's offices before
You read magazines.
Like, what did I do, people?
You read magazines and you looked at the goldfish.
Or worried, or now I'm just playing my games on my phone.
Exactly.
And so this is a really great, for those of you who like the what ifing in the world.
Right.
This is a great what if, and at what point is one existence?
So say the title again.
To say, it is If Cats Disappeared from the World, from Genki Kawamura and Eric Sealand translated. I highly suggest, like I said, it's only a 5-hour listen. The reader is very easy to just get lost in. And, it's January. Aren't we all doing that?
Right.
Fresh me brain, trying to, get our worlds together.
Yeah.
This is sort of a nice one because, it could go anyway.
Absolutely. Well, that's a good time. I picked up another quick listen as well because it went in conjunction with one of my children's Christmas presents, which was a book, The Wild Robot.
Aww.
And if that sounds familiar, it's because it also was just made into a movie that released last year. And so the book is getting a lot of attention as well. But The Wild Robot is a very, very sweet story. It begins with and it's going to be good. My first and fourth graders watched the movie with me, and they would both be fine to listen to the book as well. They're short chapters. I'm listening to it, so one chapter is like 2 minutes long, so it's a good read aloud even for a family. But The Wild Robot is by Peter Brown, and it's a nice short story for that younger elementary age. And basically what's happening is there are robots that are helpers, and they're being shipped all over the world. And our story opens with one cargo ship that's in the middle of a hurricane that was supposed to deliver all of these robots. And the cargo ship is lost to the hurricane. Everything is decimated except for one box. And the one box that doesn't get destroyed by the hurricane washes up onto this remote island. And after some time, the island otters and bears and other thing like that. They are curious about what's inside the box. They rip it open, which exposes the robot to the sun, which then charges the robot.
Oh,
and
nice.
She comes to life. She is personified as a she. Her name is Roz. She is a Rosamund, 1, 2, 3 type robot.
Yes.
and so she comes to life, and the book and the movie basically follow Roz as she tries to follow her programming to be a helpful assistant, but also adapt her programming to what is my job in this wild area where I wasn't meant to be. And what you find out is that she's kind of having this, as a robot can, having this internal struggle of where am I, what is my job, what is my duty, how am I to assist? And after she sits and analyzes nature for a while, she can understand the animals, of course. And they tell her that, she finds an egg, and the egg doesn't have parents that are coming back to it, mom or dad gosling or geese or anything like that. And so she decides her task is going to be to take care of this egg. Aww. So she becomes a mother, essentially. And so the movie touches on this. She was like, I was not built to understand how to raise a duck. And there's a wise possum, and the possum, my favorite line in the movie is, the possum is, none of us were built for this. None of us knew what we were getting into. None of us know how to do this. None of us came with a manual. And you'll just know when you know. And so it's much deeper than you would think a book about a robot in the wilderness could be, and still very lovable for children and for adults. And so we're having a good time listening to it and reading it together as a family.
Okay, and this is reminding me, have you seen that TikTok or that video where the Roomba, somebody leaves their garage open and all the neighbors are recording as the Roomba is running away down the street?
No.
It just escaped, and like all these neighbors are out like watching it run for its freedom.
Yes, goodbye.
Which I kind of think, if I got a Roomba, is what's going to happen. It's going to try to escape my house.
No, we're done with this. We're absolutely done with this. All right. Well, with that, we will take a break. And on the other half, we will be coming back with the Vice President of Enrollment for Ohio Wesleyan University, Adam Smith. So stay tuned.
You know the best way to reach an informed decision? Be informed. I hate it when a mechanic tells me I have some problem I don't understand, and the only way to fix it is with something I never heard of. That was when I knew I needed a better mechanic. I started visiting Jim Carpenter and his staff at Auto Inspection Services.
They're knowledgeable. We bring our Camry, we bring our Ford pickup truck, and our tractor here for service, and I've been doing it for several years.
There's nothing better than a knowledgeable and trustworthy mechanic. Auto Inspection Services is both. AIS-HP.com.
The following is an incredible, life-changing free offer for anyone with hearing problems who wants to start hearing everything more clearly again. We're now offering free in-home trials of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear to anyone who calls this special toll-free number now, 1-800-960-0238. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers. It adjusts to let you find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. Don't miss this special life-changing opportunity to hear everything more clearly again for free, with a 100% free in-home trial, free shipping, and even free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-960-0238. That's 1-800-960-0238. 1-800-960-0238.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-458-9392. That's 1-800-458-9392. 1-800-458-9392.
Living with chronic pain from sports injuries can take a toll on your body and mind. Relief is available through acupuncture, a simple, natural treatment. Tranquility Acupuncture can help reduce pain and improve your daily function with acupuncture, cupping, and other alternative therapies, so you can feel better today and in the future. Don't delay. Get pain relief. Call 937-561-0832. Tranquility Acupuncture, 232 North Main Street, Suite B1 in Marysville.
From the My 96.7 Forecast Center, we expect a cloudy Friday. Snow is likely later this afternoon. We'll have a winter weather advisory in effect from 1 o'clock this afternoon through 10 a.m. on Saturday. Look for snow overnight, a low 19 with 1 to 3 inches of accumulation. There's a slight chance for snow on Saturday morning. We'll have a mostly cloudy day with a high of 27. I'm Rod Tanner on the new My 96.7, 70s, 80s, and more.
It is 16 degrees, feels like 8 above with a wind chill. Now back to Off the Shelf on My 96.7.
Good morning. Welcome back. I know. I was like, where are we going with this?
I don't know. And please, I did come into the studio and look at my phone like it is Friday, right?
We made it. We're here. We're happy to be here. And we have our phone guest with us, Vice President for Enrollment at Ohio Wesleyan University, Adam Smith. Welcome, Adam.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We're so happy to have you on the show. We said earlier that this is kind of a take two because earlier this week, we were going to have a program at our Orange Branch Library that we unfortunately had to cancel, but we are getting it rescheduled to talk about a program to go to Ohio Wesleyan University tuition free. What is that about, Adam?
Well, we appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk about this. We never get tired of talking about our new Delaware Promise program that was recently put in place this past spring. And essentially, as you mentioned, this is a tuition-free program for Delaware County residents that meet the following criteria. So any high school senior that has a 3.5 GPA or higher that lives or goes to school in Delaware County and whose family has an adjusted gross income of $100,000 or less, they can now come to Ohio Wesleyan completely tuition-free. So we are super excited about that and appreciate the opportunity to come on and get the word out.
Yes, you should be excited about that because that is just, I was so happy I got to be in the room when that announcement was made. And the tears that I saw coming from, you know, the families, the donors, the superintendents, everyone, this is going to open up so many opportunities for folks who might not otherwise have had that as even a thought in their future.
It really will. And, you know, from our standpoint, we're extremely proud to be the private institution or the institution as a whole for Delaware County.
That's right.
And we want to have a nice town and gown feel, not only with the city of Delaware, which is fantastic, but the entire county. I mean, it's the fastest growing county in the state of Ohio. And I think there is two parts to this. We want to make sure that for students that are looking at sticker price, understandably so, we don't want cost to be a barrier for them to come to a small private institution like Ohio Wesleyan. So this is really our way of giving back to not only Delaware County, but to provide an opportunity for students to get a great education and not come away with a mountain of debt.
Right. And it's a nice way, too, for students who might not be a senior this year, but will be, you know, in a couple years. Maybe they're a freshman right now, to let them know that they have a path that is pretty easy to follow to get there, especially when it comes to their grades. You know, how can I know that I'm working hard, and how can I know that that work is going to pay off for me? And they can just kind of step on that path and see that it's coming their way.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think for a lot of students, we work with students that are sophomores, juniors, and of course seniors. The biggest piece of advice that we give is go and visit. You know, we would be more than happy to host families here on the campus of Ohio Wesleyan, show them around. And if they're looking for a small school that has some incredible faculty, that has really strong, vibrant campus community opportunities, I think Ohio Wesleyan will check some boxes for them, but we do work with a number of families and try to have them understand the cost, and that's where this Delaware Promise program has been a game changer for Ohio Wesleyan University. So again, just the 3 criteria for this program: if you live or go to high school in Delaware County, have a 3.5 GPA or higher, and if your family has an adjusted gross income of $100,000 or less, you can come to OWU completely tuition free. And that is changing lives for a number of families right here in our backyard in Delaware County.
Mm-hmm. Adam, let's say I'm a listener and I'm sitting here and even hearing you read, my child is right now on the path to be able to do this. How would they get started with you? Where do they go to start this process, get a tour on campus, or how should they start?
What's step one?
Yeah. Well, that's a great question. And, what we typically try to ask families to do is to go on our website. It's owu.edu. And we have a visit page. We try to make that very easy to navigate. And if you're willing to come and visit campus, we would be happy to host you. We have tours Monday through Friday, of course. We also have some weekend opportunities for families to come and visit. We also would be happy to jump on a call or a Zoom with anyone who has questions and may want to know more about this particular program or just see if they qualify. So I think the first step is to schedule a visit and meet with an admissions counselor. We will try to give that family a hyper-personalized campus tour that fits their needs, and we'll show them everything that Ohio Wesleyan can offer. We're very fortunate to be situated in Delaware. As you know, it's a very vibrant community. You can walk off campus and go right into downtown Delaware, and there's incredible shops, restaurants right off the doorsteps of OWU's campus. So the first step, though, is to come and visit and see for yourself what Ohio Wesleyan can do for you.
Now, the other question I want for you, Adam, is one of the things I've been really impressed with OWU is if you're an undecided student, could you talk a little bit about how OWU approaches that? Because, maybe you don't know what you want to do, so you're nervous to sign up for this. But I know that I have been so impressed hearing people talk about what that looks like.
Yeah, so at Ohio Wesleyan, we recognize there is a lot of pressure put on 17 and 18-year-olds to have it all figured out. Right. And we kind of take a different approach to that. We actually believe that for most students, undecided is the most popular major, not in Ohio, but in the entire United States, right? And so we actually encourage students to come in undecided, take classes that will coincide with every major on campus, and then when it's determined what it is they want to do, that's really when we see their strengths come into play, and they can still graduate in all 4 years. So Ohio Wesleyan's curriculum is structured in a way that if you're an undecided student, that will not penalize you. In fact, that is encouraged because we get a number of students that are not only undecided, but they're multi-decided. They want to do a few different majors, and that's something you can do at OWU. You can major in business and then have a minor in history, or there's incredible variations on what our students are doing.
That's great. You answered my question because, time is so critical to so many kids. They think, I don't want to do 5 years. That's one more year of debt, or not in this case, but that's just one more year of time. If we're taking debt away, then what else plays into the factor? Would a kid be able to still qualify if they took even a gap year, or is that something that you're not seeing as much these days?
Well, that's a great question, and thanks for asking that. They could take a gap year for sure, and if a student does take a gap year, we would work with them to see if they still meet the criteria for this particular program and have them come in. We know that life happens, and we certainly wouldn't want to penalize anyone for having to take that gap year. But to your point, you're spot on. Time and money are two of the biggest concerning factors for students and families, understandably so. So that's something we try to be incredibly flexible and work with them and try to change and adapt based on their needs. But yeah, that is certainly something they can do if needed.
That's really wonderful to hear. I do know that I was talking with Rachel Rausch, who was going to host the program this Monday at our Orange Branch Library. And because of our snow day, we unfortunately had to cancel. But we are working to have the program, and it is going to be rescheduled for Thursday, January 30th. At the Orange Branch Library. And so if you are listening and you want to hear more in person, you can come to our Orange Branch Library on Thursday, January 30th. But just like Adam said, you can also just go to OWU, Ohio Wesleyan University, owu.edu, and get in contact for a tour and an admissions counselor meeting. So that sounds just like a really easy, great way to get started. And
absolutely.
While you're there, you need to visit downtown Delaware and visit the library and see what all the town has to offer.
And Adam, is there anybody we should be shouting out for helping you all
establish
this program?
Yeah, well, thanks for that opportunity. The Delaware County Foundation they have been incredible partners here with these programs and have helped us kickstart this and get it off the ground. So I certainly would like to give them a shout out. Our president, Matt Vandenberg, has also led the charge on a lot of these key initiatives. He recently started about 18 months ago now at Ohio Wesleyan and has really pushed OWU into new heights. So those folks in particular, but this is really just a celebration of Delaware County and its residents. So I would shout out everyone in Delaware County that's listening and encourage them to give a college like Ohio Wesleyan a look. If you think OWU may be too expensive for you, you may be pleasantly surprised. I mean, we have programs in place such as the Delaware County Promise program to help reduce barriers and create access opportunities for all. So give us a look. We would be happy to host you and really, again, appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk about this morning.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you. And
yes.
You've been a wonderful guest. We can't wait to have the public hear more about it whenever they go online, visit the campus, and come to the program on the 30th to learn more about it. So thank you for calling in this morning, Adam, and we'll let you get back to work. It sounds like you've got a lot on your plate.
All right. Well, thank you both. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. You too. All right. Well, we are going to give a quick minute to talk about some of the things coming up at the library this week. We have had lots of good programs to help you with your mental health this winter.
Yes.
And another one is coming on Monday, January 13th at 6 o'clock in the Orange Branch, Beating the Winter Blues with OSU Extension. We want you to register for that and come learn a little bit about how you can stay happy this winter.
And if you're like me watching those countdown clocks to when the sun is still up at 7, we're getting there. This will help get you through those last 3 steps to get to it.
It is coming.
Also talking about, OWU, today there's still some open registration for our online Prep Accelerator ACT virtual crash course.
Yeah.
So it's offsite. It's from 5 to 7. Jump on. It is a registered program, but it's still showing registration open. So try to jump in. And
it's a virtual crash course. Yeah. And they bumped the time up. Thanks for bringing that up, Molly. They bumped the time up from 5 to 7 so you can still catch the OSU game.
Oh, smart. We would not want to miss that.
Not at all. All right. Well, with that, we have got to go to get our friends from the city on, and we can't wait to see you again next week. Thanks, Molly, for co-hosting.
Thank you, Nicole. I always enjoy seeing you and Mark in the morning.
And Mark for driving the board.
Thanks for standing up.
Yeah, now I'm here. Now I can see you. Until next week, we'll see you in the stacks.